As a certified financial planner, I'm always shocked to hear just how little Canadians are putting aside for their retirement. The savings rate in Canada is extremely low. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how you can take more control over your financial future, and I'm also going to be talking about the best environments or best vehicles in order to save your money. One of the reasons that most people don't save enough money is because they have the wrong mindset. Going into it, you have to understand why you should be saving your money, and then you figure out how you're going to do it. Most people are paying their expenses first, and then they save what little amount that they have left over. But people with a wealthy mindset or people with a wealth creator mindset, they save first and then pay their expenses with whatever's left over. Now, this mindset doesn't take a huge income, or you don't have to have a high net worth. You have to maybe make some tough decisions about what your spending and saving priorities are. And you could be doing this at a low income, high income, it doesn't matter. But it's the mindset that matters most. By setting aside an amount of your monthly income, it demonstrates that you're willing to prioritize your financial planning goals, and it shows that you're actively working towards those goals. This approach fosters discipline, helps you set up an emergency savings, and helps contribute to both short and long-term financial planning goals. You've probably heard of the phrase, "He who has the gold makes the rules." And what that really refers to is that people who have access to financial resources have more control and stability over their future. They can control more of the decisions, the financial and economic decisions in their life, because they've been disciplined to create a better financial future. Those who do not have financial resources or have access to financial resources cannot control their financial future. This concept suggests that those people who have been disciplined to create financial strength in their lives have more influence and authority over their lives. This also means that they can control the rules of the game. The first step to financial independence is changing your mindset. People fall into one of three different categories. Number one, they're debtors, and they get into debt for everything they do. Number two is a saver. They save up their money and then they spend their money, always hitting a ceiling of their maximum capacity to save before they give their money away to somebody else. The third group of people are called wealth creators. Now, wealth creators are better equipped to handle financial resources and therefore control better financial outcomes. Now, why is that? Well, number one, wealth creators prioritize saving their money over paying for their expenses. Number two, wealth creators also understand the rules of the game, so they pay less tax. And number three, wealth creators understand the power of compounding interest over the long term. So the question then becomes, what's the best financial vehicle for you to save your money in? And I'm not talking about investing. I'm not talking about getting a better return. I'm not talking about increasing your risk in order to get a better return. I'm talking about the right and best vehicle for you to save your money. So the first vehicle that most Canadians think about is an RSP. Well, that's usually more for investing, but for those people who are saving their money in their RSP, they're essentially getting a tax deduction, but they're throwing their money in tax jail because they have to pay tax on any withdrawal of money that they take. It's certainly not suitable as an emergency fund. It's certainly not suitable if you want to purchase a vehicle or pay an expense as an entrepreneur. RSPs are really designed for a specific goal, and that's long-term investing or savings for your retirement. And if you're okay with throwing your money in tax jail, then so be it. An RSP may be the best financial vehicle for you. The next financial vehicle that most Canadians think about is a TFSA. And a TFSA, you don't get the same tax deduction on your contributions as you would with an RSP, but there's no tax on your withdrawals from that TFSA. So you can perhaps use that as a short-term savings vehicle, an emergency fund, or things of that nature. The issue with the TFSA is, what are the limitations? Can you allow that to grow while leveraging against that, as most wealth creators do? The third financial vehicle that most Canadians think about is a regular bank savings or GIC type of account in a non-registered account. So you pay tax on every dollar of interest or growth that you get on that account, but it is usually liquid at any time. You can access that at any time. The issue is tax, of course, and wealth creators, as I said before, pay less tax. They design their life to pay less tax. The last financial vehicle that I'm going to be talking about is a specifically designed, dividend-paying, participating, tax-exempt life insurance contract that might be the better solution for both your short and long-term savings needs. These tax-exempt insurance contracts have 5 distinct advantages, so let's go through them. Number 1 is the tax-exempt cash value. So whole life insurance policies accumulate cash value, and we can actually set or design these policies up in a way that puts a bias towards the cash value of the policy. The cash value grows on a tax-exempt basis while it's in the policy. This means that the contract can act as a financial reservoir for short and long-term needs that you have, expenses that you want to pay, investments that you want to make. Now, an infinite banking practitioner will be able to help you design the policy in the most efficient way. The number 2 benefit is financial flexibility. I call this control and liquidity. And essentially what that means is the cash value in the policy can be used for anything that you want to do. You can fund a kid's education, do a vacation if you want, fund your retirement, pay for an expense, make an investment. The decision is up to you. This financial flexibility is often referred to as the living benefit of a cash value policy. Now, you can access this money in any way that you want, but wealth creators tend to use leverage, and that's something else that an authorized practitioner of the infinite banking concept can help you understand better. The third benefit of a tax-exempt contract is that the cash value grows tax-exempt, like I've already mentioned. However, this is a really important piece of this entire savings dilemma, because the more tax you pay, the less you're going to have. It just seems logical, but most people don't think about that. So under the Income Tax Act, you can not only access the cash value in the loan structured as a tax-exempt loan, but also the cash value is still continuing to grow on a tax-exempt basis. The fourth benefit is creditor protection. Now, this only applies to very specific policies with a preferred class of named beneficiaries. So sometimes people put these policies inside their corporations, and that doesn't allow for creditor protection. Where policies do provide creditor protection, it does provide that other layer of financial security. The fifth one that I'm going to end on is legacy planning. The death benefit of a tax-exempt contract is tax-free to the owner of the policy, whether that's in your personal individual life or in your corporation. Now, this could be used for a variety of reasons. It could be used as an estate equalization. If you're giving one child an asset and one child cash, it can preserve that estate equalization for your children. Another benefit is to pay for any estate taxes in Canada. Now, we don't have any penalties. The US has lots of weird rules around estates, but in Canada, you are deemed to have disposed of all your assets just as you pass away. So those could be taxable. Another kind of sub-benefit is that life insurance avoids the will when you have a named beneficiary on the contract. That means that that payout to that beneficiary will remain off the public record. As soon as a will is probated, it becomes part of the public record. So if you want to keep any distributions private, you can use an insurance contract to do that. Different types of insurance contracts in Canada have many different features and benefits. They're not all the same. So it's really important that you use an authorized practitioner of the infinite banking concept in order to help you understand how to best use one of these tax exempt contracts as a strategy to save your money. Although lots of people should be doing infinite banking, there's a lot of people who have to get over their arrival syndrome. They have to get over their mindset before they really can understand and be open-minded enough to really dig into the power of infinite banking. I would encourage you to go to our website at IBCanadagroup.com, find a practitioner in your area, and get some more information in your hands so you can make a better decision on how you could become a wealth creator.